everybody. So this video is for the summary of lesson number 19 and the lesson name is intonation. The main objective of this lesson is to understand how emphasizing and stressing different words can change the meaning of the sentence. And to explain the objective only, the very first step shares some examples to understand intonation. Just like in the first step only, you are going to write hello on the board and you are going to share that imagine if I am meeting my old friend after so long, how will I say hello? And the second situation is that if I am going to my neighbor whose father just passed away, how will I say hello? So both the situation are going to be demonstrated by the facilitator, and then you are going to use the another word goodbye, and this time you are going to ask the students to come and demonstrate. There will be two situations. The first situation is how will you say goodbye to your brother or any family member who is going abroad? And the second situation is how will you say goodbye to a person who is annoying you? So here they will understand that how can we use the same word in a different situation, and you will ask the same question also, that why did I use the same word differently? After that you are going to ask them to watch the video for better understanding of the intonation, and you will ask questions from them. The first question is, what is the video about? And the second question is not a question. Basically you are going to give an example and ask the student to write a sentence about their family member stressing different words and see how the meaning changes. You can give an example, my mother cooks idli, and then you are going to stress differently, my mother cooks idli, my mother cooks idli, my mother cooks idli, my mother cooks idli. And like this they will write a sentence and try speaking it out with different intonation and by stressing different words. Then you are going to introduce the question word when with several examples, and then you will call out some sentence using the word when, and you are going to request the students to fill out those sentences, take their responses as the time allows. After that you are going to speak like robot, and you are going to ask the students that why don't we speak like robot? And with this you will introduce the concept of pitch of the voice and pace of the voice. You will introduce yourself in high pitch and low pitch, and you will ask them to understand the difference. Then you will introduce yourself in slow pace and fast pace. So they will understand that how our pitch and pace of the voice makes an impact on our speaking. After that you are going to do think, pair, share activity, where you are going to instruct the students to open their SAP, and there are some voice levels given in part A, and they will discuss the example when can we use these voice levels. After discussing, they are going to share their responses. After that you are going to ask them to open their exercise B, and there are some sentences given. They are going to practice intonating those and stressing those sentences while speaking. So they are going to practice it while speaking, and then they are going to share their answers with you. After that we are going to play one activity to see how well they are able to understand intonation. So you will play this activity by dividing the class into two teams, team A and team B, and you are going to call two people from team A and you are going to give them a scenario written in the slip, and then they are going to do the scenario while speaking and using the intonation properly. The other team, team B, will guess what is the feeling and which situation is it. Then in the second round you are going to call some students from team B, give them the scenario, they will do the scenario using proper intonation, then team A will guess what is the feeling and what the situation is. After that, you are going to do next step, that will be finding the correct and incorrect things. So you are going to call two students on the stage, and one student will give the example of correct eye contact and the next student will give the example of incorrect eye contact. Then you are going to call two more people. One person will give the example of correct personal space, and the another student will give the example of incorrect personal space. And like this, you are going to cover other things in that step. After that, you are going to do vocab practice and ask the students to give an example of kind gesture. Second, you are going to ask them to give an example of rude gesture. And the third one, you are going to ask them to use spill in a sentence. The second part of the lesson is online search 2, where we are going to practice whatever we have learned in online search 1, and we will come to know some specific description for using online search. So you are going to start by placing the students in group and asking them to search about a topic. They can choose any topic from their end, or you can also give some suggestion of the topic as mentioned in FRB: fixing a bike, using CPR, electric cars, and etc. You are going to ask them to go to 3 different websites. Do not read every information in the website, they can just scroll through it. Once they have searched, you are going to make pairs and give them 2 questions to discuss. The first question is, what was difference in the website that you have visited? The second question, which website had the best information? How can you tell? Once they have discussed and shared the answer of these questions, you are going to ask them to watch 2 videos, AV2 and AV3. AV2 is in Hindi and AV3 is in English. So once they have watched the video, you are going to ask 2 questions from them. First question is, how can it help to use a specific description in our searches? Second question is, what can happen when we use quotation mark? So once they have answered this question and watched the video, got the learning, you are going to ask them to search the same topic using different specific descriptions. So once they have searched the different topic using different specific description, you are going to ask them 2 more questions using the think, pair, share activity. The first question is, how were the website listed differently? And the second question, what happened when you changed the keywords in your search? Once they have answered these 2 questions and understood the objective that when we use keywords and specific description, our search becomes specific and easier, and it is authentic also. We don't need to go to several websites for that. We can get our information easily from 1 or 2 websites. After that, you're going to ask them some question that you have visited a lot of websites today. How can you go back to the website which you liked and want to read again? After taking their response, you are going to tell them the option of history, how they can go through the option history and what is the short form of going to history. Then you are going to pose one more question, what is bookmark? After collecting their responses, you are going to explain that bookmark is something that helps us to save something that we like online. And you are going to tell them the proper instruction to go to the bookmark and how can we go to the bookmark using shortcut keys. After this, we are going to wrap up the class by doing stand up and sit down activity and checking their understanding, how much they have understood by today's lesson. Thank you.